Hello Bazigars! Pocket pairs, which is the term for two cards of the same value dealt as the whole cards, are the rarest starting hands in poker. Big pairs like aces, kings and queens are very strong hands and can be played by raising any bet pre-flop. But playing small pairs like pocket deuces, pocket threes, pocket fours and pocket fives requires some skill and creativity. In today's video, we will be covering the best strategy to play such small pocket pairs. When we are dealt small pocket pairs, we often might have the best hand pre-flop if nobody else has a pair. However, once the flop opens, it becomes difficult to proceed with a small pair when there are three cards of higher value on the board and our opponent could have easily made a bigger pair. For example, if we have pocket fours on a flop of ace, 10, 7, we don't know whether we have the best hand or not. On the other hand, if in the same example, if the flop was ace, 10, 4, we now have a 3 of a kind on the flop, which is a very strong hand and we can easily bet against our opponents. Therefore, our main strategy with a small pair is to call only small bets and keep the pot small pre-flop and to try and make a 3 of a kind on the flop. If we don't make a 3 of a kind, we can easily fold the hand. But if we hit our 3 of a kind, then we should try and bet big to win more of our opponent's chips. Now that you have understood the main strategy with small pairs, let us now briefly talk about the importance of position at the table. When you are in an early position pre-flop, there are too many players left to act after you. So you need to be careful when you have small pairs. From the middle position, because some players have already acted, the chances of you calling and then facing a big raise is lesser than from early position. So if there has been a raise before you, then you can call with your small pair and try to make a 3 of a kind on the flop. Or if all the players fold to you, you can play the hand with a raise as well. Finally, when you are in late position like the button and all players before you have folded, you have little to no risk of facing a big raise, as only the small blind and big blind are left to act. Therefore, you can very easily play all small pairs by calling a bet or raising yourself. Let's now look at some examples. Say you are on a 5-10 table. All the opponents have 1000 chips. You are in early position with pocket fours. You raise to 30. Your opponent in the middle position raises to 90. The big blind also calls. Now the pot is 215 and you have to call 60 to see the flop. Here, you can make a choice to call if you think your opponents are playing too many hands and fold if your opponents are playing very few hands or are tight players. Your chance of making a set on flop are 11.5%. So make your choices keeping in mind this percentage. Now let's say you are in middle position with pocket fives. Your opponent in early position has raised and there are still a few players left to act after you. It's an easy call here unless you are faced by re-raises after you have made your move when you can easily fold with minimum investment in the pot. Remember, you want to try and keep the pot small pre-flop with your small pocket pairs. In case you are not re-raised, remember that besides flopping a 5, the other good cards you would like to see on the flop are cards smaller than 10. The reason, as you must have already understood, is that on a flop like that, the chances of opponent having connected with the flop are less and we already have a pair even though a small one. Now let's say you are on the button with pocket twos and a player from the middle position has raised. Here you can easily call the bet of 30 and hope to see the flop. However, even if a player from the blinds re-raises to 120 and the middle position player calls, you can go ahead and call as you are last to act and calling the remaining 900 guarantees that you will see the flop. Let's take one last example before we end this video. Suppose in the last hand, a player from middle position raises and you are on the dealer position with pocket twos in your whole cards. You decide to call and go heads up to the flop. The flop is king of spades, 7 of diamonds, 5 of hearts. The opponent checks. You bet with pocket twos and take down the pot. Remember, poker is not just about playing the cards you are dealt, and there are two ways of winning a hand, either by having the best hand or by making the best hand fold. And with that, we come to the end of this video. I hope you are now familiar with how to play small pairs. Thank you for watching this video. We will see you in the next one.